If the people you love most were waiting for you in your dreams, would you ever want to wake up? I am a Canada Goose, but my story is not the story of an ordinary goose. When I opened my eyes for the very first time, there was no one who looked like me. Instead, standing before me were two giant Sandhill Cranes, long necks, gray feathers, and eyes filled with endless love. I didn't know who I was. All I knew was that whenever I was hungry, they fed me. Whenever I felt cold, they sheltered me beneath their wings. And whenever I was afraid, their presence alone made me feel safe. Slowly, I began to grow. They had a son too. He was a real Sandhill Crane. He ran faster, stood taller, and seemed better than me at everything. Yet he never once made me feel different. I followed him everywhere. Sometimes my short little legs couldn't keep up. I would fall behind. But every single time my father stopped, he turned around and waited for me, as if he were saying, "It's okay, son. We'll walk together." That was the day I learned that family isn't the one that leaves you behind. Family is the one that waits for you. Time passed. Mother continued to raise me as if I were her own child. She would search through the marshes for the fattest worms and place them in front of me first. I knew I wasn't like them. Yet in their eyes, I was always their child. And perhaps that was what mattered most. And one day, everything changed. I was almost fully grown. Suddenly, a flock descended from the distant sky. The moment I saw them, my heart stopped. They looked exactly like me. Black heads, white cheeks, the same face, the same identity. They were my own kind, my real species, my true community. For a moment, it felt as though my entire world had been turned upside down. I stared at them, and then I heard a familiar call behind me. It was my father. He was calling my name, softly, gently, without trying to stop me, as if he were saying, "If you want to go, then go, son. We won't hold you back." I looked at him. Then I looked at the geese who looked exactly like me. On one side was blood. On the other was love. On one side was my identity. On the other was my home. I stood there for a long time. Then I made my choice. I turned around and ran with all my strength, but not toward the geese, toward the three gray figures, the ones who had taught me how to live. I ran straight into my father's wings. My brother gently groomed my feathers. My mother rested her head against mine. No one said a word, because they already knew the answer. And in that moment, I finally understood. I didn't come back because I had forgotten who I was. I came back because I had learned who truly loved me. Some bonds in this world are not created by blood. They are created by kindness, by compassion, and by a love so pure that it needs no name and no explanation. I am a Canada Goose, but deep within my soul, the mark of that Sandhill Crane family will remain forever. And now let me ask you once more, if the people you love most were waiting for you in your dreams, would you really want to wake up? Because they were not my biological parents, but to me, they were my parents.